Welcome to this Facebook Live, and today is all about spiritual tune-ups and what it can do for your business and your personal life. So I'll give you an example. I had a client who was coming in week after week complaining about the same thing. His wife and him were arguing and they couldn't come to terms with things. He was trying, he was listening, he was doing some of the things that we talked about, but the the fights wouldn't stop, and he was so frustrated and felt so defeated. And I stopped him and I said, you need a spiritual tune-up. And what I mean by that is when you have something that you're stuck in this case, a relationship that's not going going the way you want it to, or a relationship that feels stuck, or it might be your business where you're feeling like I'm doing things, and it's not going anywhere. You feel frozen, you're not feeling in alignment, something's off. Spiritual tune-up is going within and looking at what do I need to ask myself to move out of this stuck place. It's called soul inquiry. And I'm going to give you some very powerful questions now that you can use, whether it's for your relationship or your business. So I said to him, it's the same thing like a car needs a tune-up. If you don't tune up a car, the carburetor is going to be shot, or the engine will go, or the car won't start. Car, our human beingness, we all need tune-ups. In our case, it's a spiritual tune-up where we connect with our heart and soul, not our mind. Because if you ask the questions, what can I do? How's this going to do from your head? You're going to get more resistance, maybe more judgment thoughts. The best answers, the wisest answers for your life, for anything, comes from your heart and soul. And the way you do it is you just pause and you ask the question. In his case, we ask the question, what is blocking me from having a more loving relationship with my wife? So rather than point, she's not listening, it's all her, we're now looking at him because we just have him. We don't have her there. So he's now looking at that. And he goes in and he takes his time with some breaths. This is how you do a spiritual tune-up. Close your eyes and breathe in so you can slow down the nervous system. Because if you're stressed, you can't connect here. So you've got to slow it down with some nice deep breaths. And in this case, ask the question, what in me is blocking love with my wife? And as soon as the answers start to come, and sometimes it can happen right away, sometimes a few minutes, you start writing immediately because it's easy to forget. But as you do a practice like this, the answers will start to come, the best answers. And for him, in his case, it was, I'm doing the listening skills like you taught me, but I'm doing it more like an exercise instead of being present. And I went, yes, and how would you be more present with her? I'd look at her eyes more. I'd speak slower. I'd listen and really show her with my eyes and my voice, I'm there. And there it was. There was his answer. And it didn't come from his mind. It came from slowing down and connecting with the spirit of himself within. If it's your business and you feel like your business is not going the way you want, you're not bringing clients, here's a spiritual tune-up question. There are many, but I'll give you a few. What inside of me is blocking success? Write that one down. What inside of me might be afraid to have more success? That's not an obvious question people would ask, but many times there is fear behind having more success. For example, if I have more clients, if I make more money, then I might not have time for myself and I'll lose my personal freedom. That could be a fear. You want to know what those fears are. If you just ask those two questions, close your eyes and really connect, the inner wisdom will tell you what it is you need to think, do, experience to move out of that stuck place. The answers will come. And whatever answer you get, write it down. So let's say it's your business and you ask, what is blocking me from more success? And you say, maybe your first answer is, I keep comparing myself to other people in my field who are doing better, and I can't see myself being at that level. Now you know a very powerful thought that's blocking you. Big block, right? Then the last part of your spiritual tune-up is to ask the question, what's one small step I can take to move out of this fear of comparison? One small step. Doesn't have to be big, because small steps matter. It's like compounding interest. You know, if you put $1,000 in a bank and it makes 2% interest and you don't touch it, it compounds and compounds. And it's not $1,000 anymore. Over the years, it becomes more and more and more. It's the same thing with our thoughts, with our actions. All you have to do is take a little action. And you write down one small action. In this case, it might be only tune in to people on social media that I feel in line with, not competing with. It makes me feel good and inspired when I'm looking at those people, not the other. That might cut it down already. So you're playing with it. What else can I do small to help me stop comparing and feeling like I can't? So the spiritual tune-up to me is a proactive and powerful step to move you from dense, heavy energy to lighter energy. Your spirit, your soul is meant to be light, to be free. And when you practice this soul inquiry and get yourself out of the mud, you're going to experience more light and more flow. And flow is where we manifest so much more rapidly. Love to hear your comments. What was helpful? Or just, if you're seeing this on YouTube, just give me a like or a love. Also, I have a gift. If you haven't gotten it, it's called my Tap to Transform series. And in that series, I show you how to release some of our blocks. I talk to you about fears. We all have fears. Fear won't work out. Fear something wrong is going to happen. So the Tap to Transform series is using the tapping technique to release stress. You'll get one on releasing fear and one on how to increase your manifesting ability. So that will also help you move in from dense energy to light energy. And you can check out the link below the video. Go get a spiritual tune-up. It feels really good. Bye, everyone.